Alrighty, so we have in the no. See I messed up again. Your name, please.
My name is Alexandra, and my gamer tag is Indigo Eve.
And online is what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is the real
The
Indigo Eve.
real Indigo. There we go. I get confused with the two. So welcome. Thank you for coming. Gamer tag Indigo Eve. I asked you before. Where does that one come from?
It comes from I actually wrote a book in the past, and it was kind of this organization slash reality kind of thing called Indigo, and the main character was kind of the creator, so she was kind of the Eve of her reality. So it became Indigo Eve.
That's pretty cool. And one thing I didn't ask before. How long was the book? Like, how in depth did it get?
It was like an 800-page book, and
Wow.
I had the intentions to make a sequel and maybe go on, but never got around to it.
What inspired you to do it? How old were you?
I was probably I want to say 16 when I started it, and I probably didn't finish until I was 18. So
Wow, that is really cool. Like, I think I mentioned it to you. It died. Wait, did it die? I don't know. No, it lagged. Okay. I'm gonna apologize to anybody watching because my internet is absolutely buns. So anyway, I was saying, it's really impressive that you came up with a whole world storyline on your own, and for it to be that long and in depth, it's just really impressive. Like I wouldn't be able to do it. So big congrats on that. If you have some sort of online manuscript, I will gladly read it whenever you get a chance.
I'll think about posting it.
Okay, so besides writing, you game. What are you gaming these days?
These days I'm mostly on Destiny on the Xbox One. Um, I main a hunter, and I love it desperately.
You've been playing Destiny right from the beginning, every update, every expansion.
No, I actually didn't start until near the end of year one. Somebody had bought the game for me and insisted I play, and I kind of went in head first.
Yeah. Okay. And do you nowadays, with the Taken King out, do you have your designated raid crew? You have your team?
Actually, my raid crew's pretty hot, I should say. I kind of throw together what I can, but it generally works out.
Oh, okay, that's good. I haven't played. I mentioned I haven't played it. So, of the expansion, the Taken King, have you completed it yet, or you still have bits and pieces to do?
Story mode, I've definitely finished. It was probably about 3 hours that it
Yeah.
took.
Usually, I think I've heard Destiny. It's not that long, but it is good though.
Yeah, it was. Right now, what I'm looking to complete is the hard mode raid. My light level's not quite high enough yet, but I'm
Okay.
definitely looking to.
Well, that's really good. Besides Destiny, what else do you play, or what have you played in the past? What games were you into?
Um, I pretty much on the Xbox 360, I played quite a bit of things. Most RPGs. My favorite game was probably Bioshock, the first one. Um, I'm not a huge fan of multiplayers, and I'm not very experienced in them, but I'm always looking to try new games.
Okay. And I think you mentioned before about your Pokemon collection. How obsessed are you with Pokemon?
I'm pretty obsessed. I'm a huge fan. It's kind of a nostalgia thing. I played the trading card game for a while as well, and I avidly collect all of the games.
Nice. One day I hope they bring it all together, just one big world. That's my dream, and I think that's everybody who's played the Pokemon games. They did mix one or two worlds together, but no, you need all of them together. You need a big, coercive world for us to be lost in forever.
For sure.
So you played the trading card game a bit. Do you still play it? Not too much.
I in college, it's actually pretty popular on my campus. So we will actually have like Final Four battles and stuff like that. So it is pretty popular, and I do play every now and then, but it's expensive. So
Oh, I know. The only way that I play nowadays with the online game because it's free. But I did get addicted to it actually. It was nice. It's funny. As a kid, I had no idea how to play the card game. I understood Yu-Gi-Oh easier than I understood Pokemon. I don't know why. Like Yu-Gi-Oh, I was into. The Pokemon game, I found it difficult at the time. Now it's like, oh, okay, well, it's not that hard, but it is good. So besides gaming, what else are you into? I think you meant. Oh, I told you before this. I had to postpone it a bit because I was going on my Netflix binge with Jessica Jones. How about yourself?
I'm definitely a Netflix addict. I love movies. So I love horror movies. I'm kind of an addict of that. Slasher films are like my favorite. Guillermo del Toro, as I said, is a favorite of mine.
Any like really good horror films you could recommend?
Um, well, I kind of tend to like more of psychological thrillers or adventure films with horror tones thrown in. My favorite film was probably Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, so good. Well, by him, that's why I know him. Such a good film. He did Hellboy too, though, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yes, Hellboy, another very good favorite of Guillermo del Toro. Okay, so psychological. I'm trying to think if I've seen a psychological thriller. Would Gone Girl count? I'm not sure. It's not a horror one. It's psychological. I don't know. No, that's
It would
mystery.
be psychological in a way, yeah.
Okay, okay. And also, you mentioned you're an anime fan.
Yes, I am definitely an anime fan.
Yeah. Which show? Are you into watching currently, or what have you watched?
I just finished Dead Man Wonderland, which was quite good. A little disturbing, but always good. I grew up on Naruto, and I'm a diehard fan of that. And I don't know, I like darker ones. Hellgirl was always a favorite. Black Butler. So
Speaking of anime, if you like anime, you should check out the account I did the first interview with. She's actually a second removed cousin of mine. She runs a big anime account. She posts like anime daily. Do you follow any anime accounts, or do you find how do you find your anime?
I generally there's a YouTuber that I watch, the Anime Man. He does recommend some that I usually go through, but sometimes it's just a matter of what pops up that day or what's new and releasing.
I know
So,
nowadays, well, an anime that all my friends are talking about is One Punch Man. I haven't watched it yet, but that's all the rave with my friends. One Punch
mhm.
Man. I need to catch up on so many anime. I know. Well, you mentioned some that are on Netflix, so hopefully I'll catch up on everything that I need to catch up on Netflix. So, like, what got you into, what would you say got you into the world of geekiness? Like, how did it come up? And
Well, I would say I was geeky from the start. You're kind of born geeky in that way.
yeah,
I always liked nerdy stuff since I was a kid. And then gaming was something that I never thought that I could get into. Being a girl, it's a little bit, you kind of have some sort of feeling just growing up that, it's just generally a guy
I
thing.
got in.
Not as much anymore, but eventually I had a guy I was dating insisted that I learn. I knew I was going to be terrible at it. I kept insisting that, but he really motivated me to try, and he got me my first Xbox 360. It was ancient, and it made this horrible screeching sound every time I turned it on, but I think it's my baby, and I still own it to this
Yeah,
day.
that's good. That's really good. So that's good. That's interesting. For me, it was different. My family's not really a nerdy kind of family, but growing up watching like Saturday morning cartoons or anything, it interested me. Power Rangers. There we go. We'll leave it at Power Rangers. That was my beginning. And I think I asked you earlier, like I live next to the city, so you can find an interest, wherever you go. But you're from Indiana, and you said there's actually a really big like community over there.
Mhm. The nerd community is actually quite big. We have lots of card stores. Trading card games tend to be the thing that people are really public about. Even the cool kids at school were like in Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments and like Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of thing. So it was really easy to make that crossover, but everybody was kind of a closet fan.
Really? That's interesting. Like I said, I grew up, yeah, next to Manhattan, and while it wasn't really like frowned upon, you had your clique. You didn't really you didn't know any really really popular kids that played Yu-Gi-Oh. They might have had an interest in it, but it wasn't really out there. So it's interesting to see how different it was in other places. Nowadays I
Yeah.
think in general, just about anywhere, everybody's open about it. It's not like what it used to be, especially with everything going so mainstream. Everybody wants a little piece of it, which I think is good. Some people frown upon it. They don't want certain people getting into it. But I'm like, as long as it gets out there, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't know. You know. So I mean, so besides, you said you still write and you also do FX, right?
I do special effects makeup.
Yeah, I saw on your Instagram for Halloween you did your full face. That was actually pretty cool. I've seen I think that was popular this year to do a full like face, but I would never be able to do it. It came out pretty cool.
Thank you. I'm a huge fan of American Horror Story, and that was Tate Langdon had something pretty similar when they did his like school shooting scene, and I like had I was a fan of it immediately after I saw it, and I knew I was going to do it someday, and I'd been putting it off, and finally I decided to finish it off.
Ah, well, that explains why it was so popular this year. Maybe I should get it. My sisters watch it. I haven't watched it yet, but that explains it. But you also say you mentioned you did FX for a small YouTube show, which
Yes.
unfortunately is not on YouTube anymore. But you did mention it. And what kind of effects did you have to do? Or
I did. It was a mini series about a zombie infection, and it was a lot of fun to do. I'd have to do about like 7 people a day for in about 3 hours, which was ridiculous. But I love doing decaying skin and stuff like that. Liquid latex is so much fun to work with. So I got to be really creative with that, and that was a really great experience.
that's cool. And nowadays, what are you into? I know you mentioned you have school, so you can't do that's you can either game or FX as much because school takes up a lot of time. But is there anything you're currently working on or want to work on?
Um, right now, I would love to get back into special effects makeup more. Um, with my gaming, I'm kind of branching out more into multiplayer. So I just gotten Battlefront, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm doing pretty well, which is surprising since I've done so badly in PvP previously.
Yeah,
And with Legion being released, I might go back to World of Warcraft.
I,
So
I think that's how they get us. Every expansion, you'll at least go back for a little bit. I'm also considering. I went back for Warlords too, but it was good. I just didn't have time for it. And then I heard Legion was coming on, and of course the Demon Hunter class. It's like they find some way to pull you back into. So one thing I love about Warcraft, and actually any game with a good story, just the storyline. Like I could dive into the lore and just stay there. You're seeing the trailer for the movie though, right? It's coming
yes,
out.
absolutely. I'm
Oh
pretty excited.
man, so excited for that. Is there a specific class you like? You have a favorite class from Warcraft? In your Warcraft days?
I think most people's favorite class is their first class, and that's true for me. I started with a rogue, and that's probably where I'll end.
It's funny enough. I actually did start with the rogue too. Like I don't know. I guess I found it easy, but once I transitioned to a warrior, especially from my cow, I fell in love with it. That's actually where my name. No, I lied. My second name comes from my Warcraft character. I did just my first nickname was just Living. I don't know why. Everybody called me Living. And then after a while, I changed it to satirical sarcasm. But it sticks with you, you know? After hearing it for so much, you just want to be called that. Indigo Eve sounds pretty cool, but I'm just saying, you know.
Well, thank you.
Anyway, before my internet dies again, I mean, I was telling him it's a pleasure to have you here because, as I tell almost everybody who like wants to talk to me, you guys are more interesting than I am. Seriously, I would have never guessed you had written a book. I can't even write, barely the homework that is given to me or was given to me in school. So to write 800 pages is just incredible. Like
Well, thank you.
I'll read 800 pages if the story's good. So like I said, definitely if you get it online, try and post it. But it's always nice to get to know fans because honestly, you guys are a hell of a lot more interesting than I am. But thank you again. Sorry about my crappy internet while we were starting up. But hopefully, you guys or you or anybody can hit me up anytime. As long as you guys are distracting me from work or anything else, I'm down to chat. So, but thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No, hopefully I'll get it posted tonight or tomorrow morning. But you'll definitely see it. Okay.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna post some selfies now. Don't forget to submit. You might as well submit for selfies.
Okay.
I'll see you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.